Himself on the defensive after his administration's plans to create a taxpayer-funded new service erupted into a national controversy. Pence tried to backpedal, saying the Just In site would be a news resource, not a news source, but ultimately he killed the plan yesterday. In a memo to staff, he wrote, rather than developing a new website, the IT department would update the current public calendar website to ensure that the press and the public have unfiltered and convenient access to all press releases and public meeting notices. To explain what the controversy and ultimately the unraveling of the governor's plan, we're joined by Indiana University journalism professor Jerry Lanoska. He's written and spoken extensively on the subject of open government. Jerry, first of all, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
This idea of having a new state agency, is this something new?
I'm a little skeptical about whether it's really new or not. The state has an extensive architecture already of public information from websites for dozens of state agencies that already release information in the form of press releases, pictures, social media accounts across many domains of the state website. And some of the press releases are written very much like news, and in fact some media outlets pick them up and run them as news, either attributed or not attributed. So I don't think it's really all that new. I think the issue was coordinating it better, making it a little bit more visible and maybe user-friendly for both the press and the public. Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised that it went away. You
know, you were speaking about social media. We have Facebook and Twitter, and I don't know what just came out today. But is that a way, an acceptable way for news agencies to get directly to the public, kind of bypassing news outlets?
Yeah, I think so. I think, and I think that's really ultimately the root of the controversy here. We are in the era of user-generated content, and so the users can be traditional journalists, they can be government officials, they can be businesses. That's not new, incidentally. FDR was doing fireside chats many decades ago. So this is that same principle, which is to sort of leapfrog, has been one of the terms I've heard, or bypass traditional media to speak directly to audience. That's no First Amendment crisis. That's perfectly within the rights of government to do that. But I think there is a little bit of boundary control by professional journalists who want to be that filter, understandably in some respects.
So then where is that line, though, between political messaging and traditional media?
Well, I think the governor's office is a political office, and so the politics of it didn't really bother me. I was a little bemused by the reaction. There's political content that comes out of state agencies by the fact that the state is a political entity. We have a governor who is currently Republican. The policies that he puts into place are going to be reflective of Republican politics. And so I don't really have a problem with that. I think where we want the line to be is between policymakers and press and media. And so really that's incumbent on the other side. It's not incumbent necessarily on the government to make sure that media coverage is fair and discloses where information comes from. It's up to the media to make sure that readers, viewers, audience members know what is the genesis of information.
Now, the governor backpedaled, they took away the Just In site, but has there been any damage done from this?
I think he suffers a little bit of damage. That's not really my area of expertise, but I think that officially the site is going away, but unofficially that infrastructure still will be there and information will still be put out in that same context on an improved website. So I'm not really sure how much backpedaling really is going on.
Thank you very much for being here today. Appreciate it.